Welcome to Bodywork. Listen, Bud, my apologies, bro. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye. I haven't always understood the moves. You know, a lot of it was because I was a diehard Earl Spence fan and some of the things that was going on in the build up to that, you know, but once it finally got done, you went in there and made an emphatic statement and made me STFU. However, this apology is in regards to you and Boots. You know, I'm really disappointed, man. I can't lie, I'm really disappointed in Boots, man, and in Eddie mainly, because I pointed out a lot of times that my concern really wasn't with Boots. It was more so how Eddie actually was managing Boots. And, you know, he has a history of how he's managed certain fighters, and I've always said that Eddie in DAZN, they actually spelled it wrong because they spelled DAZN D-A-Z-N when it really should be spelled A-D-T. We're home even when you're not. When you look at the history of how he protected Devin Haney during the time when they were affiliated, when you look at how Canelo and Triple G was in bubble wrap, when Andre was there, you know, despite the recency bias and, you know, what we've seen of Andre as of late, you know, he's always made some kind of funny moves, questionable moves, in which he had fighters right in-house. When a lot of people are criticized for being in-house, well, all of his answers are like right there on the same label that he actually has, but he hasn't made the fight. You know, it's very hard for me to understand how Conor Benn can be ranked so high in the IBF, right? But when it comes down to Boots actually signing with Matchroom, we thought, you know, he was going to get Ben right away. That hasn't even happened. Even after, you know, all of the clearing of the egg situation or, you know, the PED allegations, even once he cleared, you know, it never made sense how they could be both at 47 and you want to try to maintain their status going forward. But it's all this pressure for all these other promoters. It's all this heat on people like Oscar, and we already understand his moves. But Eddie kind of gets to, you know, just like Turkey a little bit, he gets the benefit of the doubt of wanting to or saying all the right things to actually make the fights. But when things like Solutions, people on your label, willing and able to fight, and they're not fighting. You know, I never understood it. I don't know what the big mystery is. I think it should be Ben and Boots. You know, I think Boots, he also has the option, since he said after post-Karen fight, the second one, that, you know, maybe I might need to move to 54 and all this. And now we hear that he was trying to drag Vergil Ortiz back down to 47. I'm like, the last 3 times Vergil Ortiz tried to make it, man, the fight got pushed back. His body kept telling on him. You know, he kept getting rhabdomyolysis. Now, there are other notions, you know, about why that happened. I'm not going to get into that. However, we already know that Vergil can't make 47. So why would you bring somebody with some sort of title at 54 already established, already had a marquee name in Bohachuk, a controversial win over him, back down to 47? Doesn't make sense. Then we also hear pursuit of a Barrios, who's now looking at as one of the weakest links at 47 after his last performance, regardless of his resume. You know, you got the benefit of the doubt of the Brian Norman situation, even though we knew negotiations were felonious, because once Karan put in for his mandatory, any option to be able to fight anybody else without signing up for that extension was a wrap. You know, so the Normans got a lot of flack for that. Then we hear about the low ball offer to Conwell, and I asked this a while ago. I said, well, if there was an offer for Conwell, and Conwell said that he was surprised that that's what they thought his market value was, it's like, well, why would you lowball Conwell and he's at 54, but you want to drag Boots down to 47? And now you're looking at a Mario Barrios coming off that performance. Why not revisit the Mario Barrios? I mean, why not revisit the Brian Norman situation? Why not even pursue somebody like Amonte Stanyana, who, to my recollection, every time he raised his hand and said, yes, I'll be your Huckleberry, he never heard back. How often do we hear about things like that? You know, I think it's looking real sketchy, real suspect. And I think that, remember when I did that, you know, that thumbnail and that video about Boots, and I was saying, man, you know, are we there yet? And I was GPS still searching when it came to Boots. I think that now it's even more foggy than ever as far as where Boots is going and what his true intentions are. And I have to say my bad to Bud, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of Bud's biggest fans. You know, I don't understand the moves. I'm just not an only fan. You know, so I would have to apologize for thinking that you were trying to avoid Boots in any shape, form, or fashion, because as these moves come out, and just like everything else, time will reveal. And right now, man, time is catching up, and now we're really starting to see and separate the real from the fake based on their actions. Not all of the clout chasing, not all the he say, she say, not all the drama, the Jerry Springer-esque stuff that's going on right now, but more by these boxers' actions, man. And you know, I forever thinking that Bud was ever trying to avoid Boots, man. I just had to clear that up. And I actually have to say, man, Boots in the camp and everybody around it, Eddie and all them, they got a lot of explaining to do, man. A lot of funny moves, man. The answers are right there in front of you. And it's sad because I'm a Boots fan as well, but these latest moves I can't condone. And I am one of them people that once I figure that I am in the wrong, I can come back and say, my bad, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I was reading that wrong, or based on the actions at that time, I stood on that stance. And I've changed my mind as things played out. You know, I would love to get your comments. I would love to get your thoughts. I know my man Aaron Jones saying it's sad. My man Jose Rodriguez saying this is a sad situation. Ghost chimed in and saying, hold on, how you gonna bring that man back down to 47 after fighting at 54? It's looking real suspect. You know, remember, this is fact-based content, not opinion-based. The alternative to opinion-based, fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. You know, so I would love for you to chime in my comment section. Let me know if you agree with my stance. Let me know if you had Bud all the way up, you know, because I think I might have, especially in this Boots situation, where I thought maybe Bud didn't want to afford the opportunity to pass the torch. And with these actions, that really wasn't the case. You know, so chime in and let me know what you think. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.